Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Citizen Sleeper. Let's continue our save game. We're on cycle 5. As you can see there in the previous saves, my first playthrough earlier this year when the game came out took 50 cycles. So, you know, on that basis we're sort of 10% of the way through. So give an indication of the sort of game length. Some cycles are quicker than others. I think generally they're going to be pretty quick from now on. Sorry, a bit longer from now on. As long as we can keep our condition high and we've got more dice to play with. I mean, at times it will dip low. It did in my first playthrough. And when that happens, there's not a lot you can do in a day, really. I think for now, pretty much all I can do is go home and have a rest, end the cycle. Interesting mix. We've still got a critical success, a couple of decent other options, and then we've got a couple that we might be able to take into the, sort of the network side of the level. We might do that last. So what are we kind of building towards mainly now? I mean, the ambergris is still being repaired automatically because of our previous success. Looks like there's another scrap freighter here. It's the same one, and in fact we've taken as much as we can. Going to sort of do manual work for them though. That's not really sort of paying into anything that's that productive for us. Stabilizer costs 100, so we can't buy any more of that yet. So money is something we want to do. Go to the overlook bar. We can actually work there now. We can do a bar shift. Taller's as good as a word and happy to throw a shift or two your way. The pay isn't great, but tips can make all the difference. I don't remember if that sort of pays into anything that's that worthwhile for us. It might. I don't want to say it doesn't. It's possible. Dragos' yard. What's his timer on? Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. So we have some basic work here. Or we have stuff that kind of adds to this big... Was it a cruiser? I don't think it was a freighter, but in any case, the wrecked cutter here, Dragos has brought into salvage. Has a curious history to discover if you're curious. Maybe we are. Get money for it. Actually, I don't know if we do. Investigating the Winterlight means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you might find some answers. Well, maybe we'll put... It's a safe one. Maybe we'll put one of our 4s in there. Because we're not really at particular risk of anything horrible here. Neutral outcome. So we've added one to our timer. We've got a certain amount of time here before this is unavailable to us. So we'll leave that there for now, perhaps. Feng's Bay, what does he want? He wants this data, so let's head into the network now, in fact. So a couple of things I want to do. I want to do these hunter nests. So 2 or 3 here, we have a 3, so maybe we'll use that and extract the data from this. So we've got hunter data. This one. Key node could be useful. I think we have a key at the moment though. Oh yeah, these 2 nodes. What do these take? So this is a 2 or 3 of... Actually, I've just used that. What about this one? That's a 1 or a 3. So let's use our 1 on here and bypass this node and get something to give to Feng. There we go. Oh, Hunter's back. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Now let's run. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now. That roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Okay, we've got one more of those to do. But I kind of used my little numbers now, so I think we'll probably have a quick check, because one of these might need a 4, that's a 1 or a 3. And this is a 2 or a 1, so yeah, so we'll leave that for another time. So we've got 2 more activities we could do here. Maybe... Well, I think we're going to let the ambergris kind of tick away now. I mean, it's doing its thing. So that's fine. We're not on a time-sensitive thing there. We can't afford to expand into a new area. So I think maybe we'll do it at the shipyard. Okay, so... if we have 2 successes, we'll actually sort of move on to the next phase. So let's start off with our 4. See how we do. We just lost energy, unfortunately. So that's a negative outcome on that one. This is pretty much a guaranteed success. So yeah, so we got 5 cryo and 2 yard hands. So we're almost there in terms of becoming a bit more of a known presence at the shipyard. We have 3 things to fill, so I might go back to Emphas, and we'll get something from him, so that we're kind of building towards knowing him a bit better. Maybe getting a story from him, perhaps. So there we go. So we got the energy, filled a bit of the clock, and I think we're going to go and rest again. We're going to only have 4 dice when we wake up, because our condition is flickering again. So we'll have 4 cycles before it's back down to 3. It goes quick too. We've also got to bear in mind we're being hunted as well. Another 5 cycles and they'll be here. I don't think there's a way for us to prevent that. There's things we can do when they get here. Okay, 5, 4, 2, 4. That's not too bad. I think straight away I'm going to head back into here and we'll see if we can finish off this node. 2 or 3. Yeah, so we'll do this, and then we'll do the hunter nodes another time. The hunter nests, I should say. So let's finish off this Solheim node. And we've got a couple of those now to give to Feng, who is here. So let's give him this data. Cryo, a bit more of that, and then we should be able to finish off this little clock by doing this one. There we go. So if we exit here, it should be another bit of a story thing with Feng, so let's do that. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Feng's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads! Who's snaky? Sleeper! Feng's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here! You pick your way between the throwing stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Feng is sat in front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information. Names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. People. People, yes, but whose people? We'll guess Havanage? Ah, not quite. He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owner, Solheim. But he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Friend of yours? Feng gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardenhurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. Are you sure? Well, that's where you might be able to help me. Feng leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on this station as a... Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. Our Harden was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all of the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium rush workers into an infrastructure, which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. So what? So what? He frowns. I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to the screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harden once again with his finger, strategized all of that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys? They were big time. There's a lot of money that you can get you if you're a company man. Feng relaxes a little. But how is Harden still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to find out. Harden is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardenhurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? You up for it? Yes. I knew it! I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Feng digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Harden. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Harden, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Okay, if we go into the eye again, like this, we have Havenage Gate. So I think this is where we can put in the Havenage... The gate keeps traffic out of the Havenage shipyards and tunnel network. The correct cipher can grant you access. So I have Havenage data, but how do I turn it into Havenage cipher? So if I do this... I mean, I don't have the right number, but I would get the same Havenage data, I think. How do I turn that into a cipher? I don't think we can do anything with these nests still. They've got the right thing. Okay. I probably will do the shipyard thing. Is it our drives? Hack a Havenage agent to get a cipher. Try it. Okay, well let's try this guy. I don't have the right numbers, so we can't do that now. Similar issue. Alright, let's leave. What's happening here? I think it's just timing to wait for another ship to come in. So let's go to the shipyard and we'll hopefully finish off the clock that gets us to be a bit more of a known quantity around these parts. Yes, here we go. And we come out, and then it's opened up a couple of things actually. Let's start off with Lem and Mina. Now in the first playthrough I did, I kind of ignored them a little bit, and I felt really sad at the end that I'd done that. So I'm going to try and put a bit more effort into their storyline. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast. A landscape of... I think there must be a ship that's being built. A landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker. Drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. She's quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem! He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina, he adds with a smile. Hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling amongst the rough material. You working on her, then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship, or just admiring? He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Admiring? Understandable. He nods, gazing back out at the sidereal horizon. You like her too, don't you, Mina? He jostles her a little. She's Mina's and my ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. The ship? You haven't heard. Anyone who takes a Havenage contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world. He winks. Transit support? Uh-huh. Someone needs to stay awake to keep the thing running. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Kalis Foundation is sending thousands to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. Kalis Foundation? They are Havanage's client, yeah, some worthy project from the core systems. Interested in independence and self-sufficiency and all that. They hired the whole shipyard out, helped wreck it, rekit it, and everything. He strokes Mina's hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose, but doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers, food, pulling an exaggerated grumpy face. She glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Havenage crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. Yeah, maybe. He looks out at the sidereal horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hull. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me. She says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one, huh? He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later Mina turns round and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon. A ticket out. So my drive is to win a sidereal ticket. So yeah, so if we go to Havanage's offices. Late in the office advertises Havanage are looking for informants on gang activity in the eye, and they'll pay. So if we get the Yataghan data, we can sell it here. The shipyard is happy to pay for ship mine fragments they can use, dismantle and reuse. How much do I get for all of those? They're very valuable though. Oh, I wish I knew what it was worth. Well, we will find others. I do need a bit more money. 30 cryo. Okay. It's not nothing. Unit assembly. Okay, so well, there's no bad result really with these. You get 12 money. So the timer we're working towards here is quality control. Shipbuilding spots on the sidereal horizon are hard to come by. Poor work will see you dropped from the roster. On systems fitting, I do have the +1, so that's pretty good. They're both safe things. I don't know how much we add to this. Maybe just 1, maybe 2 if it's a positive result. Let's do 1. 12 cryo, +1 systems tag. That's a neutral outcome. We could try again and see if we can get a positive one. It's a 50% chance. I think negative results add up to this quality control. I think it's basically 3 strikes and you're out, I think. But this is going to be fine. Another neutral outcome. So we actually got an extra 5 cryo from that one. So we're on 121, which is not bad. In fact, what I'm tempted to do is to go and open up Yataghan, which costs 60. Pay the toll. Pay the troll toll. Here we go. Right, we can go in here now. We have to put dice in to explore before we kind of find locations. Don't have any dice at the moment, so we will come and do that. We can actually get energy from that one. I think we want to kind of do that. What else have we got here? We've got the free spoke. Founder's Gap. That's to the next place. We can take a look though, but it'll be similar. Spoke Climber. Doesn't take quite as long. So we can explore that, enter the spoke, and sort of discover what's there. This one's actually dangerous, which is worth bearing in mind. And we can lose energy on a negative result there, so it is not without its risks there. And we can have a look at what the gap does. I think you pay to get across. How much is it? 150, yeah. So we're fine. It's going to take us a while, and there's quite a lot to do in here as well, so that's fine for now. I think I'm going to head to the bar. I was going to buy a drink, but actually can't. I think I'll let the energy go down, and on the morrow we'll get more fungus from Emphis and extend that a little bit as well. So let's end this cycle. Again, only the 4 dice when we wake up. And there's loads to do, isn't there? I mean, hopefully you've seen that by now. We've got some really nice rolls here, by the way. 5, 6, 6, and a 2, which will be helpful in the network part. Yeah, so in terms of what I want critical successes on... God, I was getting very close to getting the hunter arriving. Maybe he's exploring low end. But I do want to do another hut. Maybe we could get the Sci-Fi thing going as well. But I kind of want the hunter nests to go. 1 or a 3. Okay, we're not doing that. We might be able to do the other one. 2 or 1. Yeah, so we'll do that. Got another hunter data. That's pretty much what we can do here now, because our other rolls are too good. Not complaining. Let's go to low end then. I mean, if we put our 5 into here, that means we're not going to get a negative. We might get a good one. Positive, yes. We get the 3 cryo as well. I do kind of want these locations to reveal. Well, we're not going to manage it today anyway. So maybe that's enough for now. Ooh, we actually have found a couple of places. So we found the Tambor Tea House. It's a locked action. Skill upgrade required for that. Fair enough. Tracking Havenage. You've heard that the Yatagan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Havenage movements. So we actually have... See how much money we can make from our Havenage data. I'm guessing 20? 10. Okay, it's not a huge amount, is it? Still, it's something. So we also have the Mini G Express. I think it's probably just a place to buy food. We can deliver stuff, get a bit of money. It's not paying into a timer though, it's just a work shift for credits. Or we could basically work for food. But I'd rather pay Emphis, I think. With R6, maybe unit assembly's good. It's only 12 cryo. I don't think there's any benefit to one or the other. I think we want to pick one though, and I think tech is our route, isn't it? So let's start this. Okay, getting there. We have 100 credits now, and we could buy something from the dock. It would actually be one of our drives as well, so maybe I should do that. It'll cost us all our money. So actually I'm not going to do that now, because we'd have 0 money and we would run out of energy, and that doesn't seem good. So let's just rest up. I'm close to the hunter arriving. The one that's hunting us. Ooh, we're starving. I should have bought food. I kind of forgot that part. Got a 1 and a 1. 4 and a 6. Okay, interesting. Got a ship here. Which one's this? Buy a ship mine fragment. I wonder what skill upgrade we need. Well, they'll be here for a few cycles, so we don't have to decide yet. I think I'm going to buy the food first, actually. I meant to do it before going to sleep. I kind of just rushed that. There we go. So we've got some energy now. Let's go into the eye, because I think we can probably get rid of this last hunter nest with one of our ones. There we go. What's this having as agent? There's a 2 or a 3. What other ones are down here? 2 or 3. One down. I thought there was one down here. I may have done that one already. Oh, there's yet again agent. That's a 1. I don't know if we've opened up anything else now that we've kind of moved into this new area. Another agent. Oh, that's about it. I mean, we're going to have to use one of the ones down here. Key. I think I'll use it on the Yatagan agent because we can sell that data and get a bit of credits in. There we go. We can actually do that down here at the Havenage office. Let's see how much we get. Well, I'm guessing it'll be 10 like the other one. Getting close to having 100. We actually got 100 again. Four and a 6. Well, I think I want to use the 6 in unit assembly. Maybe there's a chance we can finish this clock off and move on to the next thing. Where am I? Start action. I think we'll do it. Let's move on to the next section of this storyline. Money. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless, and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. You can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. "Hey, sleeper, wake up, wait up!" Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. "Lem! Good to see you, friend!" He's working hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. "You made the work team, good for you!" He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. "Shh, baby, give me a second here." He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and then her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he is clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Waiting on a shift? Uh-huh, you know how it is. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know. A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on It says growing brightly. I'm sure that must be glowing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit. Mina? He starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you, I'll... He crouches to Mina. You are gonna stay with our friend here, okay? They're gonna keep you safe and... He stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, she's got... Shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the roiling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard docks before it locks down. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hey, Mina? She holds the stare, unmoving. The 2 parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. Are you okay? She sniffs and looks down. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Let's take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. We'll give it to her. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long you are talking about rabbits, and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eye's heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He is dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone. Well, 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 looks like Meanie can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, wide smile. I owe you. Look. He glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end. He grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat. He plays at biting Mina and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper? He waves and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spaces as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. New drive. Help Lem work. And this is where I kind of failed them really, because I was so busy trying to do my own stuff, I just didn't find the time to go to his house and watch her, and as a result, I never progressed their quest. I mean, if we go there now, see, it does take dice, and I never helped Lem get his ticket out, and I felt really sad about that, so I'm going to do that this time. It was my big regret from my first playthrough, I think. That's what I do now. I'm going to buy a stabilizer, but I'm going to wait for another cycle, because I want that to go down. We'll probably only have 3 dice tomorrow, but then we'll use it, and then we'll be topped up again. Let's go and buy the cryo. Toshiro takes the chits and hands you a vial. When you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. Oh, here we go. Hab block. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand, and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end it has a hard metal strip, a handle. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Pass key. Is this an entry key for somewhere? Handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207-F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. Sorry if the footage looks like it's skipping. The cough's quite bad this evening, and I keep having to pause, otherwise it wouldn't be good for you guys. But I might wrap this up fairly soon, as it's getting quite bad. But yeah. For a moment you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to enter low end and find out. There, so we've completed a drive, which was to buy the stabilizer. So we have an upgrade point available. Just the one. I might take the engage. I noticed a couple of the options that have been locked for us so far, the ones that say perk required. I know at least one of them is an engage action. So I might take that, and maybe we can do a bit more with engage stuff now. Okay. Okay, well here's Unit 207F, so let's go check that out now. We have the passkey. You find the entrance to the apartment, its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? Well, I'm guessing it's Sabine. That could be wrong. The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Let's go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet, towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. We can inspect the room. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered and controlled. As you approach the terminal, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. "Sleeper?" Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. "Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements." You hear rattling noises, static. "I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust them." Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. "I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out." Yatagan was supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the recording. "But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me." A pause, something clicking in the dark. "This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here." Another pause. "I know sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out, and you can get what you need. Please." Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. "Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can." You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, and then silence. Let's have a look at the terminal. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. New drive discovered. So what have we got? Let's just work down them. We've got build a ship mind. Yeah, actually I've sold my one. Disable our tracker. Feng's helping us with that. Extract the past. We need to get a cipher somehow. Fix the ambergris. That's kind of that's ticking away in the background. Have I got all the hunter data now? I have, so we can go back to Neovend actually. Might track that one. Get Sabine out, that's what we've just had a look at. Get to know Memphis, eating at his stall. Help Lem work, know that one. Study the Winterlight, that's at Dragos' shipyard, and win a cider reel ticket. Okay. I'm just going to click on the unit to see what we do here. Yeah, so I can drop off Yataghan data. I just sold one for 10, unfortunately. I don't have another one right now. But let's go to the sealed dock. Drop this data off. There we go. So we can now go and talk to Neovend again. Neovend is thrumming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovend be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neovend flashes sequences of mangled data, compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. The last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could possibly produce. Station was run by administrator intelligences, huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition restricted by programming, cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal, hunter and killer enforce law. Killer? The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer, part of Solheim protocol team, hunter and killer, hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse there was a community, unshackled intelligences among the cloud, then hunter, then killer, then we hid. How did you escape? A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neovend. Found this vessel, could sever hardline, air-walled, basic, limited, had to reduce memory to fit, amputate self, but survived. Oh, what did you lose? Memory, understanding, knowledge, many things. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovend interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry, data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem with solve self. Will that work? The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this location. Then we find main nest of hunter and link to cloud. Where can I get a ship mind? Build from fragments. Buy. Salvage. We cannot leave, so do not know. You try to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In Shipmind I can help us both. End Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both will be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neovend adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. I think this ship sells them, right? Buy a ship mine fragment for 60, which is pretty high. Okay, I still can't do this thing. It's here for 3 cycles. So I don't have to do that right now. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we call it a day at this point, and I think once we rest, we will end the video there as well. I'm not going to inject stabilizers, as I said. We're going to do one more cycle. I think we'll have 3 dice tomorrow. Hopefully, we're 4. Hoping it's 4. It's 3. Oh well. But we'll inject the stabilizer before we end this cycle, and go back to having 5. So thanks very much for watching this episode of Citizen Sleeper. I hope you've enjoyed it. Ooh, and Keita's ready to do some stuff too. So we'll get to that in the next episode. If you did enjoy it, then please do hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about the game, and if you've played it, what you think about it. If you haven't played it, what do you think about this series? And subscribe to the channel as well if you've not done so before, because that would be fantastic. And I hope to see you next time for more Citizen Sleeper. Bye for now.